Imagine a magician's vanishing act on a colossal scale, a $1.5 billion scale. Like real magic shows, this isn't actually magic, but a reality faced by Bybit, a cryptocurrency exchange in what might be the biggest digital heist in history. Get ready for a story that rivals any high-tech thriller. We'll unravel the mystery behind this mind-boggling crime, exploring the sophisticated techniques used by the hackers. You'll discover how they manipulated complex systems and the potential North Korean connection. The consequences of this heist are very real, sending shockwaves through the global crypto community. The routine transfer that sparked chaos. Picture this, a regular day at Bybit, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges. Millions of dollars in digital assets flow between wallets, a dance of electrons that's become as routine as breathing for the tech wizards behind the scenes. But on this day, that routine was about to be shattered in a way that would send shockwaves through the entire crypto world. Bybit, like most major exchanges, uses a system of cold and warm wallets to manage their vast crypto holdings. Cold wallets are offline storage that isn't active, while warm wallets are connected to the internet and are active for day-to-day transactions. It's a security measure that's standard practice in the industry. Why have assets accessible and theoretically vulnerable when you don't need to? On this fateful day, Bybit initiated what would have been a run-of-the-mill transfer between their warm and cold wallets. But as the transfer began, something felt off. The transfer was taking quite a while to go through and for the assets to show up at their destination. The minutes ticked by, and still they failed to. The reality dawned on the Bybit team, who watched in horror as their usual safeguards failed one by one. Funds weren't just delayed or misrouted, they were gone. And not just a few $1,000s either, but millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. By 7:45 a.m. UTC, the full scope of the disaster became clear. $1.5 billion in cryptocurrency had disappeared into the digital ether. It was as if someone had made all the cash in a bank vault evaporate into thin air in an instant. The largest crypto heist in history had just been pulled off. But how? How did hackers manage to exploit a routine transfer to pull off such a massive theft? Imagine a high-tech bank vault that needs to open briefly to move money in or out. Imagine someone found a way to slip inside during that split second when the vault door was ajar. That's essentially what happened here, but on a mind-boggling scale and significantly harder in the digital world. The hackers had managed to intercept the transfer process, redirecting the funds to their own wallets instead of Bybit's designated addresses. It was like a magician's sleight of hand, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, they pulled $1 billion out of theirs. What makes this heist so unprecedented is not just its size, but its sophistication. This wasn't a smash-and-grab job. It was a precisely orchestrated digital dance that left Bybit and the entire crypto world reeling. As news of the heist spread, the impact was immediate and severe. The value of major cryptocurrencies plummeted as investors panicked. Trust in centralized exchanges, already a contentious issue in the crypto community, took a massive hit, and Bybit found itself at the center of a storm that threatened to reshape the entire landscape of digital finance. Unmasking the deception. The smart contract manipulation. The perfect crime is one that doesn't look like a crime at all. The key to this perfect crime? Smart contracts, the very foundation of trust in the cryptocurrency world. Let's break it down. Smart contracts are like digital agreements that automatically execute when certain conditions are met. They're the backbone of most cryptocurrency transactions, ensuring that when you click send, your crypto goes where it's supposed to go. But what if someone could manipulate these contracts without anyone noticing? Obviously there are safeguards, or everyone would be hacking in. They didn't quite work here, though. Our attackers created a masked signing interface, a perfect forgery of Bybit's own transaction system. When the exchange initiated what they thought was a routine transfer, they were actually interacting with this malicious interface. The genius, and the danger of their approach, was in its subtlety. they made tiny, almost imperceptible alterations to the contract's logic. For example, they might have changed a single variable that determined the destination of funds, or modified a condition that governed transaction approval. These changes were so subtle and cleverly disguised, they slipped right past Bybit's security measures. But it's not like just anyone can access systems and customize transactions. Due to how recent this event is, I'm afraid we don't have precise answers, but there are theories. Hacks from general criminals are seldom completely technological affairs, and are much simpler than in the movies. Most of the time, it's more social engineering and psychology. Hackers tend to target employees at companies, manipulating them into revealing information, or even with a single phishing email an employee mistakenly clicks on the link of. Breaking through technological safeguards is a lot harder and significantly more expensive. But according to a statement by Bybit released in the aftermath, a potential vulnerability in the user interface of the Safe.global platform is the likely suspect for this hack. A vulnerability suggests this wasn't social engineering, but indeed the much harder technological kind. So who has the resources to pull this off? You'd need plenty of professionals and definitely a lot of money. The FBI has an idea of someone who has both. The North Korean connection. Lazarus Group strikes again? Enter the Lazarus Group. If you've watched our episode on the hack of the state-owned Bangladesh bank, you may have heard of them. Like a ghost from the digital shadows, this North Korean state-sponsored hacking collective has emerged as a prime suspect in the Bybit incident as well. Their reputation sends shivers down the spines of cybersecurity experts worldwide, and for good reason. The Lazarus Group's past exploits include the 2017 heist, where they swiped $200 million worth of Bitcoin from 4 South Korean exchanges, the aforementioned Bangladesh bank heist that came really close to stealing a good $1 billion, stopped by a coincidence, the 2014 Sony breach, and the hack of pharmaceutical companies in 2020. But those were just their warm-up act, and unlike their last billion-dollar attempt, there were no convenient coincidences called Jupiter lying around this time. But what makes investigators think they're behind the latest heist? It's all about the digital fingerprints. Blockchain analysis firm Elliptic has been hot on the trail, uncovering telltale signs that point straight to our North Korean friends. They've found unique signatures in the Bybit hack that link it directly to the Lazarus Group. Patterns so consistent with their previous operations, it's like they left a calling card at the scene of the crime. But the stolen funds didn't just sit still after being stolen, making it easy to be tracked. These are professionals. They were quickly dispersed to multiple wallets in a dizzying dance of digital transfers. Elliptic reported a 2-stage money laundering process to muddy the waters, a technique that's become something of a Lazarus Group specialty. The motivation behind these heists isn't about filling some hacker's digital wallet. This is a nation-state we're talking about. North Korea sees these crypto exchanges as a potential gold mine to finance its regime. Funds from past hacks have already been linked to their ballistic missile program. With each heist, the Lazarus Group refines their methods, making it increasingly difficult for even the most skilled cybersecurity experts to track them down. And even if they're found, it's not like they can be arrested. North Korea doesn't exactly have many extradition policies. And also, they themselves would be the ones to be extradited because it is state-sponsored. The Bybit incident has sent shockwaves through the crypto community. If a group like Lazarus can pull off a heist of this magnitude, what does that mean for the security of other exchanges? For the future of cryptocurrency itself? Bybit isn't taking this lying down. They've called in the big guns, enlisting top-tier cybersecurity experts in a desperate race to recover the stolen funds. They've even put out a bounty, offering a reward for information leading to the recovery of the digital loot. It's a move that shows just how high the stakes are in this digital Wild West. But let's be real, recovering those funds is going to be an uphill battle. And when we say uphill, we mean a vertical cliff face. As we watch this high-stakes rock climb, one question lingers. Is this billion-dollar theft just the tip of the iceberg in a much larger, more dangerous operation? 1.5 billion itself is already like 1/150th of Elon Musk's net worth. It's a massive amount. What if they could do more? The Lazarus Group doesn't just smash and grab. Their evolving methods make it a constant challenge for cybersecurity experts to keep up, turning each new heist into a high-tech game of cat and mouse. All the while, every time cybersecurity slips up and loses the arms race, it's one more nuclear warhead to the pariah state. Market meltdown, the ripple effect on the Bybit hack. As the digital dust settled from the Bybit hack, a far more tangible storm was brewing. The moment the news broke, it was like someone had pulled the emergency brake on a runaway crypto train. Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, took an immediate hit. Ethereum was the specific currency stolen. Its price plummeted by around 4%, landing at an admittedly still impressive $2,641.41 per coin. But this wasn't just about Ethereum. The panic was spreading through the entire crypto market. Bybit users, gripped by fear and uncertainty, didn't waste a second. They scrambled to salvage what they could, flooding the exchange with withdrawal requests. Ben Zhou, Bybit's CEO, revealed a staggering statistic. Over 350,000 withdrawal requests poured in shortly after the news broke. That's not just numbers on a screen, it's 350,000 individuals, each experiencing a gut-wrenching moment of panic. The fear didn't stop at Bybit's digital doorstep. The hack had unleashed a torrent of doubt about the security of centralized exchanges across the board. Suddenly, the question on everyone's lips was, how safe is my money? As the day wore on, the ripples of the Bybit hack turned into waves crashing against the shores of the entire crypto market. Bitcoin wobbled. Even traditional financial markets felt the tremors. Coinbase, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the US, saw its share price tumble by 8% by the end of the trading day. The incident couldn't have come at a worse time for the crypto industry. Prior to the hack, the market had been experiencing a rebound in investor confidence. Now, that fragile trust lay shattered on the virtual floor, highlighting the ongoing vulnerabilities within the sector. But Bybit wasn't taking it lying down. Bybit's bold move, promising to cover $1.5 billion in losses. Bybit just dropped a bombshell. They've promised to pay it all back. That's right, Bybit announced they would cover the entire $1.5 billion loss from the hack. But can they really pull it off? Let's break it down. How does an exchange cover a loss of this magnitude? It's not like they can just pop an extra $1.5 billion into existence. By the nature of economics, that would just end you with the same value, but a larger number. That's not worth much. The most likely scenario involves a combination of using their own reserves and securing loans from partners. And Bybit isn't just any exchange. They're a heavyweight, reportedly holding over $20 billion in assets. That's the kind of financial muscle that could potentially absorb a hit like this. But the very fact this is a surprise highlights a glaring issue in the crypto space: the lack of regulatory frameworks. In traditional finance, there are safeguards and insurance policies to protect users in case of theft or institutional failure. In crypto, not so much. Users are often left high and dry when things go south. It's why pump and dump schemes are so prevalent. Bybit's guarantee is unprecedented, potentially setting a new standard for exchange accountability. Of course, skepticism remains, and rightfully so. The crypto community has been burned before, and $1.5 billion is no small change. Can Bybit really follow through on this massive promise, or will it join the long list of unfulfilled guarantees in the crypto world? Bybit has already taken initial steps to start repaying users. One of their first moves was working with on-chain analytics experts to identify and demix the implicated addresses. It's a smart play, potentially hampering the hacker's ability to liquidate the stolen funds. But Bybit has also thrown down the gauntlet to the hacking community, offering a reward of 10% for any recovered funds. Do the math, that's a potential $140 million bounty if the entire stolen amount is retrieved. It's a long shot. This is a state-funded enterprise these ethical hackers would be going up against. But even as Bybit takes these steps, they're facing an uphill battle. The sheer scale of the theft is daunting, and the historical context isn't encouraging. Other exchanges have faced similar situations and failed to make users whole. Plus, Bybit is now dealing with a surge of withdrawal requests, over 350,000. It's a logistical nightmare that could lead to delays and further erode user confidence. So, can Bybit really cover $1.5 billion in losses? The jury's still out. Their plan involves a multi-pronged approach, using their own reserves, potentially securing loans, offering bounties for fund recovery, and working with blockchain analysts to track and freeze stolen assets. It's an ambitious strategy, but one that faces significant challenges. The crypto community watches with bated breath all the while. And here's a glimmer of hope. They've already clawed back approximately $42.76 million worth of crypto. A small fraction of the total theft, but it proves some amount of recovery is possible. The challenge is monumental. Within just 2 hours of the theft, the stolen funds were scattered across 50 different wallets, each holding about 10,000 Ethereum. It's a classic move from the cybercriminal playbook, divide and conquer. But Bybit isn't fighting this battle alone. They've assembled a global coalition of industry groups, exchanges, and ethical hackers. These digital detectives are working around the clock, tracing transactions, blocking suspicious accounts, and slowly but surely closing the net on the perpetrators. It's a rare moment of unity in the often fragmented world of cryptocurrency, with each partner bringing unique skills to the table. But as historical precedents go for recovering funds from hacks, it's not looking good. Conclusion. Despite the shockwave sent through the crypto world, Bybit's resilience is undeniable. With 60 million users and $20 billion in assets, it stands as a testament to the growing tide of cryptocurrency adoption. But as digital currencies become more mainstream, are we truly prepared for the risks? The Bybit incident exposed a vulnerability that echoes through the entire industry, serving as a wake-up call for improved security measures. In past scripts, we've usually had a witty lesson at the end. The truth is, we either have too little information, or this really was an unforeseeable hack. So, the lesson, I suppose, is, don't buy crypto? Best I can do.